This is not your average Boesemani rainbowfish. This guy is pretty old. He's not the largest of the examples of our older ones. You can tell he's a bit old with that wrinkly appearance behind his eye, just before his fin. Now, right in the middle of this picture right now, this is what makes this guy special. He has this little orange patch on his fin, and I've designated him for a special task, and I thought I might try and line breed this guy with some females and see if we get any more orange fins, or whether it's just some really random thing. I've heard them do that with other breeds of fish, to get fancy goldfish and guppies and stuff like that. So I thought I'd give it a go. So anyway, I put him in a tub with half a dozen females, and then I just started collecting fry, because there was lots of Christmas moths and things like that they could just spawn on every morning. So these are about 3 months old, 3 to 4 months old, and you can tell by the size of that air hose that they're pretty small little guys. I'd say there's about 30 in here, so you'd collect about 5 to 8 little fry every morning. You just have a look around in the tub, and I'll show you that tub in a minute. And you just put them in a little breeding grower tank, and you feed them live brine shrimp and crushed powdered foods, dried foods. I use a coffee grinder to grind up any kind of commercial dried foods and make a little powder, put it in a jar. And I label them the month, and every month I change tank where I'm putting them. So these are 1 month younger than the left tank there. And so there's a tiny bit of difference in the size, you can tell. And here we think we have a few less. There's about 20 in here. And the camera never really shows you the amount that you can see with the human eye. So believe me, there's about 50 fry in this frame right now. And now here's another tank. This is the actual breeding bucket. So it was in the farthest corner of the fish room, so that you wouldn't walk past them and scare them all the time. And they did kind of hang in the bottom underneath all of the moss, but they'd probably go about their business in the morning before anybody woke up anyway. So rainbowfish egg scatterers, and they just kind of follow each other around and just sort of deposit their stuff everywhere in the moss, and then they hatch out 8 to 10 days later. So this tank here is after I've taken out all of the adults, and so instead of collecting another batch, I just took the adults out and let all the fish hatch, and I think they were still hatching like a fortnight later. So that would be 1 month younger than the last lot. And here we have brine shrimp, not to be confused with rainbow fry. This is a saltwater container with a small heater just running about 23 degrees Celsius. And I have a small aeration at the end. I just hatch out brine shrimp and then feed them to fish. This is another container. These are about 6 years old. 6 months old. Crazy. 6 month old. And these were not part of the special breeding project. So I don't really try and breed the rainbow fish, but every time you move some plants or change tanks or do some upgrades, you'll find fry. You just find them everywhere all the time. So I just put them somewhere and grow them out. So there's probably another 20 in there. And these are roughly 12 months old, and that one in the middle, don't count him, her. She was just put in there for medical reasons. But she turned out good, and she's back with the other fish now. So at 1 year old, you can see the orange and blue parts quite well. The males look quite healthy. This is the kind of age you'd see them in pet stores, aquarium, local fish shops, or a bit bigger. So there's another 40 odd in here, and these are not part of the special orange fin project. So yeah, back to Mr. Orange Fin. He's going to come into frame soon. Is that him? Nope. Is that him? Nope. Here he comes. Yeah, so he's now got 60 sons and daughters from 6 different mothers, and we'll see what transpires.